Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so in this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about our trading day. Now, keep in mind, one of the greatest things about being a day trader is I do not want you spending hours and hours pouring through charts and looking at news events and seeing what's going on all over the world. Every day that we wake up, it's a new day. What I do want you to do is I want you to be at your desk, wherever you're trading, at least an hour before the market's open. So that way we get ready, we start formulating our plan. We're going to start looking at the stocks that maybe we'd be interested in trading that day. The first thing I look at in the morning is my risers and fallers. Whatever platform that you're using, you should be able to find a list of these stocks. And these are the stocks that are moving the most by dollar amount. We don't want percentage, and I'll tell you why. We could have a $2 stock that's up 46%. It's not something we're ever going to look at to trade. So the first thing I do in the morning, I go right to my risers and fallers list. Very often, the stocks that you see here are going to be stocks that we're going to be trading during the day. I walk in at 7:30 or at 8 o'clock and I see STRP is up $12.61. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go put up a chart of STRP. And we're going to see if this stock sets up to give us any trades. And guess what, guys? Look at this. What is the first trade that we talked about? We talked about a trend trade. Look how beautiful this stock has been in a trend all day long. Absolutely gorgeous. And early this morning at about 8:30, you can see it came down and hit our 9 and 65 EMAs. Probably a little too early for us to get involved because remember with a trend trade, we want to wait till 9:45. But this is a stock here at about 10 o'clock. We could have entered into one of our trend trades. And you can see this was about $119. Stock is up $5. Beautiful. We'd still be in that trend trade. So we're going to get a lot of our ideas from the rises and fallers in the morning. Another thing that you have to be ready for, let's see if there's any economic news coming out that day, right? Maybe the unemployment numbers coming out. Maybe the Fed is meeting that day. So all these things we have to be prepared for. And I am also, if I look on this list and I don't see anything there that interests me, we're going to go to our go-to list of stocks, our Apples, our Babas, our Netflix, and we'll start rolling through all those charts. And we'll see if there's any action in those stocks. We'll take a look at Apple. Look at all this choppy action. And you can see early this morning, yes, the stock did hit our 65 EMA, but what time was that? 9:30 in the morning. That's not a trade that we're going to do. Maybe now this thing is starting to set up for an uptrend. And we'll look to buy it if it pulls back to our 9 or 65 EMA. Really looking at this chart, not enough of an uptrend yet, but it could develop into that. So what we're doing after we've gone through our watch list is we're looking for trading opportunities in all the stocks that we normally trade. Another very, very important thing. The first hour to hour and a half of the day is going to be by far our busiest time. We're probably going to do about 70% of all of our trading in the first hour and a half of the day. And why is that? It's when the stock market is most volatile. It's when, and sometimes we can really take advantage of this. You'll see a stock moving very far in one direction very early in the morning. And often the crowd is wrong, and we might want to get on the other side of that trade. So all we're doing for the rest of our day is looking for trading opportunities. One very, very important thing. There could be days as a day trader where we walk in and we do not trade. Nothing lines up for us to do. Not one of our setups work. And I know the hardest thing to do as a day trader is to do nothing. But sometimes having no position is the right position. And I'd rather be patient and disciplined and wait for one of our trades to set up than just be pushing buttons for no reason. That's one thing that we will not do. There could also be days where we have 10 trades or 11 trades, and they all work. So being a day trader is all about patience and discipline. Very, very important. Once the market slows down, 11 o'clock, 11:30, we do not trade during lunch. You're going to see during lunch, and you can almost see it already. Here's the volume in this stock. Look how much there was in the first half hour of the day. Already the volume is starting to dry up. So by 11 o'clock in the morning, most often the market is already starting to slow down. We usually take lunch about between 11:30 and 1 o'clock. Don't be afraid that you're going to miss trades. The market is dead at that time. You go to the gym, you hang out, do whatever it is to keep yourself busy for an hour and a half. Stretch out, get yourself away from the market for a little bit. Very, very important. A couple of other things that I want to talk about. Remember that if we are in a trend trade, let's go back to our STRP RP. Very important. Okay, let's go back to our estimate. Let's say we have entered this trend trade and it's early in the morning. I want to stay in this trade for the rest of the day or until this trend changes. What we're going to do very simply is, and I'll leave this trade on during lunch. And I will put my stop order in. Remember, we talked about our stop orders. I'll just have my stop order in if and when it breaks this trend. I don't have to be sitting here watching that stock for the rest of the day. And hopefully, if this is going to stay into a strong trend, look, we're long this stock from 119. We might be able to sell the rest of it. Who knows where at the end of the day? 126, we might make 8 or 9 points on that last little bit of stock that we have. So we don't have to be sitting there and monitoring every trade that we're in, especially a trend trade. Just make sure you have your stop order in and you keep following the stop order out. Most times when we're in a regular moving average trade or a base trade or a consolidation trade, those are probably going to work very quickly for us. And we might not be in those trades for more than a minute, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes at times. So it's very, very important for us to take that lunch break. Don't worry about missing a trade. It's not going to happen. And if you do miss a trade, there's going to be plenty of other trades to do. So take your lunch break. You got to stretch out. You got to give yourself a little break. Keep in mind, guys, remember we talked about money management and how important it is to keep the money you make? Let me say, I'll say one thing. And there's an old saying, maybe it's not an old saying. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, right? Remember that. So we have to always be cognizant of our money management rules. And if we're up a certain amount of money and it's 11 o'clock, listen, there might be times during the day, and a lot of my traders, the first hour, hour and a half of the day, it's 11 o'clock, we made 2 or 3 good trades. Bye, done. See you tomorrow, David. I am done for the day. If you want to continue trading, which I want you to do because we might have 10 trades by the end of the day, remember the money management rule. If at any point in the day you give back 20% of the profits that you have, you stop trading and you're done for the day. Again, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Also important, keep in mind that after 3 o'clock, we no longer enter into trend trades. That's when the market can drastically change. So after 3 o'clock, no more trend trades. Again, the most important thing about our trading day is keeping the money that we make, following the plan that we've built over the first 6 lessons of this course. Let's move on to the next lesson.